Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera, wow.
Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. No, no, y es que hay mucho sentimiento, lo grito al viento, de ser latino nunca me arrepiento. Lo digo desde la Suiza centroamericana, rebota en Colombia y en Dominicana y yo.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our very first official live stream of the Latin Babbler Show. I am your host, Rafael, aka the Latin Babbler. I am joined by my amazing co-hosts. We got Paula, we got Daisy, we got the OG Miss Rocky, and we have a special guest host. He is a digital content creator. You've seen him in funny ass content on TikTok, Instagram, and more. The nostalgic Latino himself, Carlos Castillo. What's up?
Hi guys, hi everybody. Thanks for having me.
He's like, thank you,
Welcome.
everybody here.
I had to make sure I had that tone. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Mucho bienvenidos, Carlos.
All right, so look, we're going to start off a little bit on a different tone for the show. We have some news that we're going to be covering, but at first, I wanted to acknowledge, I know that Carlos, some of us here were a part of the content creator community. We're either content creator or fans, and sometimes we forget that behind the screen, there's a lot of us who are dealing with like everyday life. And of course, we're saddened because we lost one of our own in la comunidad. Randy Gonzalez, the dad half of the father and son do the Enki Boys, passed away at the age of 35 from colon cancer. And, they spent the last couple of months on that, on their TikTok and a lot of their social media trying to bring awareness about that disease. And I know, Paula, you have some information on colon cancer, which I think it's really important to share. So why don't you go ahead and do that?
So the latest statistics put up by the American Cancer Society journal, the estimated cases of Latino males with colon cancer was 11%, and among Latina women, 8%, and that doesn't take into account the deaths that occurred. And that's just the latest information we have, which isn't the newest, as that's information as of 2021, and the latest information is still being gathered. Latinos are actually among those that have the lowest screening, so we are at much higher risk for late detection, unfortunately.
And twice the amount. So, from Caucasians to Black Americans, Latino are twice more capable of getting colon cancer. So if you can, please get checked out, try to catch it early, so that way you can try to, deal with that. For more information, please go to cancer.org. You'll be able to get it there. And I know that we're going to continue here. Paula, what's up with the news? It's going crazy.
Well, there's a lot happening, one of which, unfortunately, nationwide, everyone's heard the unfortunate murder of Tyree Nichols, this 29-year-old young man who lived a full life as a father. He was an avid skateboarder, photographer, father, son, whose life was cut too short on January the 7th by 5 Memphis police officers. Now, these police officers were members of the Scorpion team in Memphis. This was a unit that was put together to police the streets and look for more, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, more violent types of individuals. They were looking for aggravated assault, robberies, things like that out on the street. So why they stopped 5 officers had to stop one young man for an alleged traffic stop, which is still unclear to, we're at what today's the last day of the month. There's so much still coming out of this case. Now, these 5 officers and this Scorpion team has now been disbanded by the city of Memphis. And we have also had these officers' names swiftly identified. They have been fired. They have been charged. Now, they have not, according to 2 of their lawyers, they have not pleaded yet, but it is expected that at least 2 of them will plead not guilty. Among the 5 officers, and as of the last 2 days, we actually after the footage was released this past Friday, we had people just really poring over the video to just get any other information. And it turns out that there seems to have been another officer, a white officer, whose name has not been released, whose picture had not been put out into the media. And as of Monday, people, internet sleuths, the internet is a great place sometimes. This person has been identified, and I believe he's off on administrative leave, but I do not believe that he's been fired. Besides that, we also have 2 paramedics and a police and a fire chief that have been dealt with, two emergency medical technicians and the fire department lieutenant have also been terminated. And this is because after the altercation, these people arrived on scene and did not provide aid to Tyree as they should have. So what else? We also have an apparent connection that possibly exists between one of the officers and Tyree. And I won't speak on that too much because we don't have all of the facts yet, but it seems like this might have been more than possibly just a coincidental traffic stop.
Yeah, and what we're talking about apparently is that I think Tyree was apparently with one of the exes of the cops or something like that. They're supposable, and these obviously when we get information, we post it up. It's because we've done our homework on a lot of it. So anything I say now is alleged, because I don't want to have it, hold me accountable for it. But supposedly there are pictures of him taking pictures of Tyree after the abuse that took place and sending it to that ex. So obviously we'll kind of keep everybody updated as to that. Yeah, that's insane to think. It's brutal. And I saw the video. We are not playing the video because I am not going to give any fire to that, any media time to that. But I will say this. The last time we spoke about a topic like this on this show, and Miss Rocky was with us during that time, was episode 7. We're on episode like 116. So it just goes to show how many times we go into something of this nature just because we want to be careful with how we speak. But I'm going to be unapologetic with what I say this. I've seen that video. I have family members who are cops. They're good cops. But these are not good cops. There is a dead man out there because these cops did not serve its purpose and did not serve the community, and they should be tried and they should be convicted because what was done to this young man is absolutely unbelievable. And that's all we're going to say about it. As news come in, we'll post it on the social media. You can go on TodoWafi.com or at TodoWafi and be able to do that. But our hearts go out to his family. Our hearts go out to that community and to anybody who's affected by these type of incidents that happen on a daily basis. It's just now we're starting to see people record it. So that's why you're now starting to see what it is that we're dealing with on an everyday basis in especially in BIPOC communities, which is, really disheartening. So we're going to change the mood. We're going to go into what we normally do. Daisy, go ahead and start with your celebrity news.
So this week's celebrity news. Did you guys hear that Mark Anthony is married for the fourth time? I was going to say 6th time, 4th time.
He's in competition with his ex-wife.
He's in competition with J-Lo because this is J-Lo's 4th marriage as well. Mark Anthony is 54 and just got married to his 23-year-old girlfriend, Nadia Pereira. The two got engaged in May 2022, and there wasn't many videos of the wedding, but obviously paparazzi was in Miami, Florida this weekend, trying to get what they could. And we can see that a lot of celebrities were present. We saw that
Romeo Santos was there.
Romeo Santos, and then what's the soccer player? I totally forgot his name.
Mr. Beckham. With
Beckham, his wife. Yes.
Dang.
How could I forget? Yeah. He was the best man. Did you guys see that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do tell.
I didn't even see a connection there.
Where did you get that connection?
Yes.
I didn't make that connection either. I'm like,
that is insane.
Didn't Mark Beckham
and Mark Anthony, that's his best, the best man. Now, did you guys realize that he just got married this weekend, and Friday was the premiere of her shotgun wedding movie
Oh my God.
on Amazon Prime.
It was so bad.
You think
I
there's a
think
connection
not.
there?
Wow.
You know what?
What a
Many people are gonna
coincidence.
hate me for this, but I am so tired. I am so tired of J-Lo's wedding
Seriously.
movie. Like,
I
stop.
mean, two
Like,
back-to-back ones. At least the other one with Owen Wilson, they had no chemistry in that movie together.
But it was
But at
better.
least there was, it was a little like lighthearted, a little funny. And this one, she was trying so hard to be funny, and it just goes to show you the people that do comedic movies, that comedic timing is so important, and I think undervalued, because boy, did she struggle. It was bad.
Really.
And this
It
one
was
the other
particular
one
in
was
Shotgun
Are we-
Wedding?
are we
We're
talking
talking
about
about
Shotgun
Shotgun
Wedding?
Wedding, right?
Shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we
Carlos, I
watched
think
it.
they're talking about Shotgun Wedding.
I didn't know
Yes.
what the Shotgun Wedding, and I didn't know she did
With
another
Josh.
wedding one with Owen
Yes.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Like,
she did one with
literally,
Owen
I don't
Wilson
know,
and my and
6
what's his
months
name?
ago.
The
Maluma, I think
Colombian. Maluma was in it,
Maluma was
yes,
in it.
yes.
and
Maluma
that was
was the
horrible.
groom.
Yes, he
Mhm.
was the groom, and that one was bad. So I just can't imagine how bad this one was.
Yeah.
This
I
one
mean,
was way
supposedly
worse.
they said, well, I'm gonna contradict. I'm only gonna say this. I haven't seen it,
Neither have I.
but it's getting a lot of rave. Like it's actually like people are sitting there going, "Oh, I loved it. I really enjoyed
We're
this."
gonna
Wait,
wait
Shotgun?
Blah, blah.
for the Babbler approval. He's gonna give it two thumbs up
I'm
soon
not
enough.
watching that. I
There
don't
you
watch.
are.
Look, I'll tell you what though, we got sneak peeks from Netflix. We're not allowed to talk about them, but she's got a movie coming out in 2023 that has nothing to do with weddings.
Wow, finally.
It's gonna be
And-
a reboot
Right.
of Made in
Dios,
Manhattan.
María Purísima,
And
Dios
I will-
mío.
It's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be good stuff. I can't tell you what it's about. I can't tell you, what the movie is and the name of it and so forth, but it's gonna come out this year, and it's gonna probably give her a different view from everybody else. I
Anything.
want to go. I want to go
Which
back
is,
to the
which,
Mark
which is
Anthony.
odd because she kind of plays like the same type of role
It is.
in those
Well,
types
her
of
best
movies.
role has been Selena, in my opinion. What do you guys
Yes.
think?
Yeah,
Selena
Enough
was
wasn't
the
bad.
best.
Do you
Enough
know-
was
Enough
bad
was
either.
actually pretty.
Enough was great, actually. Selena
After
was
that
great.
movie, though, we did have enough of her, though. I mean, from an
the
acting
wedding
perspective,
planner.
the wedding
Okay,
planner.
But
guys.
it became
The
weddings.
wedding
It
planner.
became the monster-in-law, the wedding
Monster-in-law's a good
planner.
movie.
Monster-in-law.
The
You're
song was
right.
actually really good, though.
It was
Carlos
really
And
is
good.
she
like,
was very funny. Like
Carlos
it
has
went
got a
hand in hand.
revelation coming out, like all of a sudden.
No,
They've
it's
all
just,
been wedding.
It's like I'm
She
putting all
has
the
her
things together.
niche. She
It is-
really
yeah,
has her
this-
niche, and there's certain things that she does, and although she might not be the best actress, there's something about her. She does have a certain charisma, right, to be where she
Right.
is,
Correct.
and so
Hey,
I
she
think
is what
with
she
this-
is, man.
She's an entertainer.
right. So she has something about her. So there are certain pockets of movies that she does, and she does well. She just missed the mark with this one. She just really did. It was like this action adventure comedic, like rom-com sort of thing, and it just didn't work. It was like the movie that Sandra Bullock just did with Channing Tatum. I can't remember the name.
haven't
It
seen
was
it yet,
recent
but-
too.
It's called The
Hill
Lost
Island.
City.
The
Lost
Lost
City.
City.
Hilarious. That's what it
The
felt like
Lost
she was
City?
trying to do. Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
it's,
it felt like
uh,
she was trying to do. Like, bad guys are after me, but I'm still cute and quirky, and I'm gonna run from them, but I'm gonna look perfect, and my hair's just gonna be just like blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's
It
like
was
a-
just bad, not good.
It
Yeah,
just
she
goes
was
to
trying
show.
to
It
Wait,
does
so
go
it's
to
kind
show
of
that
similar to that type of movie as
Yeah,
well.
it's
like
got
the
that, it's
vibe,
got
the
that
feel.
type.
Yeah,
So we can all
Gosh.
agree she's pretty average in the three aspects: singer.
But you guys, Mark
actor,
Anthony and her
dancer.
are in a battle for the weddings because they're both at their fourth marriage now. And I don't know,
Only
what do you
four
guys
marriages?
think?
For
Fourth,
J-Lo?
fourth.
See,
But
but
J-Lo's
Mark,
been
Yeah.
engaged.
You
She's
get two
been
more
been
rings,
engaged.
and they can end everything with just one snap. That's all I'm saying. Like,
but Mark Anthony hasn't gone back with somebody else though, right? Like they all been new people. As
Yeah,
opposed to
they've
like
all-
Yeah.
J-Lo, right?
I mean,
So
that,
do you
look,
guys think?
it just goes to show. Look, I'm gonna show you this picture.
Jesus Christ of
This is-
You
Latter-day
know what?
Saints.
I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. Ever since Mark
No.
Anthony, even from the beginning, I saw him for the first time in The Substitute back in 1996. or
Oh,
something,
that
with
was
Tom
right in my
Berenger.
high school around the corner.
Homeboy was the Cholo, the antagonist of that movie.
Look,
You know
he's-
what? I may not be the most handsome looking dude, but something about this guy, and I don't
Yes,
know what
right.
it is,
I was
but
just
he has
telling
this
this.
very weird.
Mira, chiquitico, flaquito. I've seen him in person.
He's
Chiquitico,
short. He's
flaquito. But
short.
that man's, those vocals, oh man,
And it
that's what it is.
yeah, and that's
Get
exactly
everybody's
what it is.
panties wet. That's what happened.
But
Oh my
homie
God.
he looks like a straight up
Some
don't mess
state
with me
fact.
kind of a deal, you
He
know?
does. He does.
He
He's
has that
he's
look.
like,
He's like he's got Babbler shaking in his little
I don't know,
botitas.
me shaking in my stuff. I know. No, I'll tell you what though, his accent when he's singing in English is amazing though. Like it's just,
He doesn't
I
have
don't know.
an accent. He's from
He
Yeah, what are you
doesn't
New
have
talking
an
York.
about? He
accent.
doesn't
I
have
don't know
a,
what you're
he
talking about.
has when he's singing in English, all you have to do is go to any of his songs when he's trying to, sing that when he was performing in English. They
My
are
brother,
hilarious.
you need to re-listen to some of those CDs
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you
I
got
think
that
so.
vinyl record in the back.
I have a
I
question for you
need
guys
to
though.
know. I need to
See?
know.
Yes.
But
Tell
there's
me,
no
baby,
accent
girl,
though.
yes, I need to know.
No, that's
No, he
different.
doesn't
That's
know.
that's the
You
accent,
Does
you
not
bro.
added
have
an
an accent
accent
like
for
that
poor
at
Mark
all.
Anthony.
Bro, you guys got to listen to them. If you guys are sitting there that Mark Anthony did not have an accent, some of you guys were literally just
He
into him
didn't.
because that man is, and he still does. It doesn't
Man, who
change.
you're gonna
And he
attack
never
next,
misses a
Babbler? You're
note.
gonna attack Ricky
He,
Martin. You're gonna attack Enrique
I
Iglesias.
already attacked Ricky. Ricky's been attacked a long ass time ago. That I
Oh
never gave
dejen
him
a
a
Richie
man,
quieto.
so
somebody doesn't like menudo.
bueno,
Both the
lo que
food
pasa fue que
and
lo
the
dejaron
food.
quieto y ahora está, tú sabes,
Oh
por todo
All
man,
right.
lado. What do you guys
the
think about his age difference though? Like, I mean, that picture that I put up, they're saying like it's all over Twitter. Where people are like, he
Money
married his
talks.
niece.
Money
money
talks.
talks.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Money talks.
She's
What do you
There's
guys
setting
think
herself up for
about him
life.
crying?
There's
What do you guys think about
supposedly
him crying
Crying
that
for
Think
what?
about him. He was
at
crying
the
During the
altar?
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the
At
that
the
fool
altar.
that fool was holding cebollas in his hands, man. That fool was crying way too much.
You think he was
And the
like,
thing, and the thing is, like, it's his fourth wedding, so it's like,
With the
how
Julio.
emotional can you get over and over and over again to be like,
you're
oh,
missing the point, man. He's
You don't
emotional
know.
because
It's
he
because
got
he's like, I
married to a
got the
young
one.
He's
person.
a great actor,
Yeah.
though. He's a
He's
great
a
actor.
great
The
actor.
one.
Average, just like J-Lo.
He's like, I
He's
can't
like, this
believe I
one.
got this.
This one's gonna take me into my old years and change my diapers. That's why he was crying.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gatos.
He's
Oh my
never
God.
gonna come on the show. He is never gonna
He
come on
hates
the
us.
show.
J-Lo was his
Yeah.
longest marriage though, so you would think
It
him and
sure
J-Lo were
was.
like really happy together. I don't know what happened, but
Was
I
she
don't know.
invited?
I
No.
don't know.
Julio?
I don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
Guest list?
No.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
why
didn't
would
see her
you
there.
invite it? That's a little odd.
He
There's-
was
there's
he
a-
was in he was next to Rodriguez, A-Rod, and them at their private school, just singing with the kids and award ceremony. So I didn't think it would be any
But I mean,
different
getting
from me
along
at the
is
wedding.
one thing. Like, getting along for
inviting?
the kids. Yeah, but that's a little,
that's a little
odd.
weird. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think at this point,
Babbler,
they,
would you
like,
cry at your fourth wedding?
I haven't been to my second one, so and to be very honest with you, I haven't.
never
I
cried.
haven't. The way my first marriage ended, my second one will probably put me into tears. It's just gonna be like, oh my god, I can't
I
believe
cried
did this.
I cried from joy for my
For
divorce.
joy. That's what I'm saying. It's just one of those things where I'm just
Professional
like,
divorce.
I'm so happy to be back here. Like the better way. Hopefully it lasts, a different amount of time. So
Not
But-
to sound ageist or anything like that, but I mean, obviously the age discrepancy is there. Have you guys ever heard of that rule where it's like you're not supposed to date like underneath a certain age, where it's like it's half of your age plus 7, and then that's the cutoff line where it's socially acceptable to be able
Yeah.
to be like, hey, where it doesn't
Wait,
look
what's the cutoff? What's the cutoff? I don't know.
Half of
so
your
like
age
so
plus
like
7.
half of your
Oh.
age plus 7. So let's say
half
Mark
of my
Anthony in
age
this
plus
case.
7.
So Mark Anthony is 54. Half of his age is 27. Plus 7
So
is
34.
34. So he should not be dating anybody under the age of 34.
34.
Otherwise, it looks.
So I'm 47. That puts me at like 23 and a half, and then another 7. So I can land me a 30-year-old, is what you're saying?
Hell yeah. There we go,
And are we
Babbler.
having
Oh,
kids?
that's
And
what
are
I'm
we
talking
having
about.
kids?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm
The
going.
model hasn't
Good.
had kids yet, or maybe she
The
doesn't.
problem,
but
the problem with dating a 30-year-old is most of them are still looking for kids. I ain't trying to do that. That's not
Neither
my
am
cup
I.
of tea.
And it's the
But I-
power imbalance too. It's the power imbalance. It's the
That's
fact
true.
that this young lady hasn't lived a life and lived experiences
Mhm.
and it just leaves a lot of room for manipulation.
Yeah.
So
I
I mean, I'll tell you what, if manipulation was taking place, it's already happened. I mean, she's married. So
Yeah.
it's going to be one of those things. I mean, unless we're talking about her manipulating him because he's not stupid.
I mean,
Man,
on
I
both
could-
ends, right?
Yeah.
I'll let any girl manipulate me with a good platito de chicharron or some
Oh.
taquitos or anything like that. Take
Just try
care
to
of
get
me,
pupusas.
girl. I'm good.
That's the way to your heart, huh, Carlitos?
That's how we do it.
I mean,
That's
that's the way
it.
to every man's heart. You turn around and start cooking. Oof, that's a first one right there. Then everything else just kind of falls into place.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you get a
That's
good
it.
plate on there. All right, so we haven't done this in a while, and we're deciding to bring it back. So Raquel, why don't you hook us up with our artist spotlight?
We're gonna talk about my Colombian sister.
Oh.
Born Shakira Isabel Ripoll, born, raised in Barranquilla, Colombia, from where I'm from. Woo woo. And she's referred as the queen of Latin music. She's both from Colombian and Lebanese descent, and she made her first recording debut at the age of 13 with Sony Musica. She has a slew of hits, as we all know: Hips Don't Lie, a collab with Wyclef Jean, La Tortura, another collab with Alejandro Sanz, and now onto her latest collab with Bizrap, Clap Back to her ex, Gerard, is that how we say Gerardo Piqué? Yes, right?
Gerardo Piqué.
He's fine though. In her new song, Igualito Como Tú. So dale, toma.
You're supposed to be supporting your sister and not saying that
He
the
said
boy
he's
is
fine.
fine.
I'm a little disappointed.
He is fine.
He is
You
not
think
fine.
so?
How
I think he's
dare?
fine.
He is
I
not
think
fine.
he's fine. Listen.
You gotta look at him close up in the face. I mean,
Have you
he's
seen his
fine.
selfies on his Instagram? He takes selfies like a
Yes.
5-year-old.
Well,
Does
oh
a
no.
5-year-old
I
take
mean,
selfies?
I don't listen.
There's
I
a
don't got
5-year-old
time
taking selfies.
to be magnifying the selfies.
That is
I
crazy.
think he's fine. I think he's always been a good looking guy. Is she beautiful? Yes. I mean, no one really knows what happens between, una
Okay,
pareja behind
Rocky.
closed doors. However, make sure you guys keep the line around your jelly and your jam. Make sure it's on a clean
It's
spot,
so
because
true.
hey, Shakira's inspections are coming after you. Okay.
Bro, we have a whole article on this on the website.
I
If you
thought
go
she
to
was making an
www.
analogy about jelly and
No,
jam and don't
it's
spread
supposed-
anything.
It's
And then I was like,
supposed-
oh yeah, I
that's what
forgot.
happened.
Don't
That's
let
what you found
La
out.
Otra come to your house. Don't let La Otra come to your house and eat my damn jelly, because you're gonna hear it from me. Okay.
Oh,
Especially when you're
man.
on a diet and you don't eat jelly. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's how she found out.
Because we know we were checking our macros and our sugar intake, sir. Mr. Piqué.
And
see?
I don't know if you guys saw the interview that was surfaced where she's in the background of Piqué, like in
Yes.
Shakira's home.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Mhm.
In the home.
She's all
Unbelievable.
walking all
Dirty
casually.
slut.
I
I
just,
don't know, Rocky. You were defending Piqué a second ago.
Yeah.
I said he's cute. I said he was good
Sir,
looking.
you
I'm
didn't
not
say he was
defending him.
cute. You said he was fine.
He is pretty fine in my eyes, but fine doesn't mean anything. Fine could be he's a dirty dog, but he's still fine. Roof,
Turn
roof,
around,
baby.
fine.
Man.
He's fine to me, but
Oh,
he's still a dog.
man.
And listen, Shakira's beautiful. Ella parece una muñequita. Like, she's always kept her style, her grace, and everything. And I'm glad she clapped back. He's still fine.
What do you
but
guys
she
think about the
clapped back.
song?
I
it is
loved it.
hilarious.
It is.
I think the song is hilarious.
The
And you know
puns
what?
are perfectly.
I've seen on Instagram and on Twitter where people are sitting there trying to say, oh, she's immature for, putting out a song like this because of her age. First of all, let's get something straight. She can do whatever the hell she wants, especially with what she's been through. And then second of all is everybody who was sitting there literally made a whole ass career of Taylor Swift on breakup songs. So if you guys are going to sit there and shoot, Shakira down, remind yourself that Taylor Swift is a Grammy award-winning artist on every single breakup that she's ever had since the age of 16. And you guys went out and were like, yeah, Taylor Swift. Like, there's songs on it now that people are still posting, trying to support her. So if you can do that for her, do that for Shakira.
La Colombianas are 2 for 2, though.
All I'm going to say is
for 2.
2023 is the time women come and stand up for themselves. They don't cry anymore. They make songs, because Miley Cyrus did the same thing. She got cheated on. She made a song.
And Karol G did it, and now Shakira's doing it too.
Keep it going.
Dale.
Dale pa allá. Dale pa
Screw
allá.
these
And you know
cheaters.
what? You know what? The men need to start doing it too. Instead of
they
throwing
won't.
phones over the
For what?
water and all kinds of stuff, men need to start doing it too. They need to start.
Hey, you know what?
They gotta stop eating our
I am not.
jam.
I'm not affiliated with Latin Babbler. I'm just only a guest host. His views do
He's
not
like-
reflect on mine. Just FYI,
Copyright
ladies.
that TM.
Hey, look, cheating is not a one-way street, man. It's not a one-way street.
It's always men.
So,
it's always the men.
That's the way. That's the stereotype is that men.
You know
are the
why?
only ones
Because
that do
women
it.
know how to cheat. That's the problem. We know how
Okay,
to keep
but
a
it's-
secret.
Maybe.
But that's another topic for another.
That's another
show.
topic for another show. With that said,
Yeah, this is gonna
just
turn
like
into
you,
Midnight
just like,
Talk to Miss
Censura
Racky.
right now,
just
man.
like you admitted it, Raquel, men need to get better at breakup songs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
They
and they
just
get
do.
better at cheating and freaking covering up their ashes and all their trash. That's what women intuition. I'm telling you, she went in the fridge, the jelly. She goes,
Bro, the jelly. I'm still shook by the jelly story. That was
There's
just
you
like,
this
she was
much
just
dog.
like, can you imagine going to the fridge and be like,
See,
what up? Took my jelly.
I just look.
She knew
supposedly-
intuition.
Supposedly it's
Given-
because nobody eats jelly in the house, so she knew that it had to be somebody.
But even given the circumstances of whatever's happening behind the scenes, I just think that it's a huge L for Piqué to just lose Shakira like that. Like, why would you even? It's just
You ain't
Shakira's
lying.
it's Shakira's like,
Yo,
ah.
For real.
Shakira
'Cause
is
if I was
gorgeous.
a lesbian, she fine as hell too. I'd be with her too if I was a lesbian. So let's go. I mean, for real. Like, is he stupid?
¿A quién no? Wow.
I think,
And that's
think,
what I said.
bro,
He's fine, but
He's
doesn't
a
mean he got everything in his
narcissist.
brain. Yeah, he's a
It's
narcissist.
because of who
I got
he
a
is.
thing for
He's an
narcissists.
amazing soccer player, and he just thinks that basically he can have his cake and eat it too. It wouldn't have taken him very much. She has all the money in the world, as does he. So it's not like he would have been lost without her, and vice versa. But
Yeah.
again, it's just like that power and that feeling where, I'm not going to let you go, but I'm still going to go around and do what I want to do. It's about
And-
humiliation.
And I think
It's
he was
about
back in the shadows too. Yeah, the ego.
He's
thing, too.
embarrassing her too, posting a picture officially on
Yeah.
Instagram with Clara.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
why
he's
would you do
trying
that?
to embarrass. I mean,
And
And
she's
coming with the
trying to embarrass.
Casios and giving everybody a Casio watch
she's
and all
torn,
that.
She's tore him
Girl,
up.
I
there's
got a
nothing else we can
Casio
do.
watch. What you
Dude,
talking
let me
about?
see. There
Yeah,
you got it
she's
from
got the-
Piqué too?
Oh hell no! Really?
I got you, boo. I got you.
That's funny. She said, all right, talking about celebrities, I have a question for you, Carlos. You're going to have to explain.
Girl, not you with an open flame bringing fireworks into Disneyland. What the fudge?
This shit blew up.
It blew. Well,
Tell us how it went.
The video blew up. Thankfully, not that
Thank
firework.
God, not the castle.
Not the fireworks.
I forbid.
Yeah, no. It's a trip because I was at Disneyland this past weekend, right? And it's the 100th anniversary, and I'm like, all right, cool, it's gonna be awesome. I'm about to start taking video of the castle itself, and I see this random girl with a cake and a straight up open flame sparkler. We're talking about like those bottle sparklers, like the ones that are like they're pretty strong. It's not like the
Yeah.
typical little palito or anything like that, right? And I'm like, oh my gatos, is like for real. Like, how'd you even get that in there? Because they don't let anybody like they go through all of your stuff. They got dogs that sniff out people, not dog sniffers.
Dog
Holy
sniffers.
moly.
I'm sure they have those too.
Take it easy.
She's sniffing off the jam.
Hey,
That's right.
niñas, pórtense bien. Especially you, Babbler.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm over here just
Yeah,
vision
His
of dogs
pronouns are
sniffing sniffers.
he and him.
You probably put it in her breast or something. The candle.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's weird because so it's kind of like a big deal because
That's
it brings
explosive.
up that whole idea of influencers, people that are live streaming at the park because that's becoming more of a thing nowadays.
Yeah.
And
especially
people
at
are
Disneyland.
really and then people are now like they're starting to like it was already an issue before, but now it's kind of been pushed where it's like where's that line
Where's the line?
where you are doing this for the clout and you kind of put yourself
Other
in
people in
these
danger.
situations and just making a lot of the community look bad, you know? And
They
it's
have
like
they have rules for that though, right? Like you're not allowed to go in there with fireworks
Not with
and
explosions.
anything.
not,
that
not
has
with
to do that.
anything.
I think
Because
she
I mean,
probably-
imagine if this chica ended up going inside the castle and just lighting it up in there.
ISIS
and then
all
it's
over
like,
again.
and
You
the thing
burned a
is that
little
it's
kid or
Disneyland. It's,
something.
yeah, or burn a little kid or anything. Now the thing that the video doesn't show and I wish I didn't, is that they told it was security. A cast member came out, called security, told her to put it out immediately, and then she grabs the cake, and then she flips it down, blah, and she smashes it on the floor. That's when I found out that it wasn't a real cake; it was a cardboard cake. And so when
Oh,
she
so
smashes it
that's
on the,
even worse.
so she smashes it on the floor, and the little flare comes out, and it starts rolling, and then she just grabs it, and then eventually and puts it out by smashing it on the floor like
Smashing
that.
it with it.
And
Did she
then
get kicked out?
yeah, so then security came,
Estúpida.
estúpida, and they escorted her out. I spoke to a couple of people that are former cast members or people that already worked there, and then that's just a bannable offense. So that's
Mhm.
like
Is she
you're
allowed to
I
go
believe
back, you think?
no,
her and her
No.
party. They're
yeah, her and
lifetime
her
banned.
party are they're
Forever?
lifetime
Or
banned.
do they
Yeah,
have to
you're
fight it?
banned. No, it's a
For-
ban.
They're
It's a
banned.
ban.
That's
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
even worth it. What's wrong with
once
her?
Disney
That's what I'm
bans you,
saying.
they ban you.
And they
Yeah.
take you to your little Mickey Mouse jail cell and everything. Oh yeah, they don't play.
Diablo, de que. There's
Oh,
no
I
Mickey
swear
Mouse
to-
jail.
I promise you, they have their jail cell underneath. Well, in
Mhm.
Disney World, they do everything is laid underneath, and you have the jail and everything underneath. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
you
was it
don't-
worth her video, her picture? No.
That's
Hey,
the
man.
funny thing, that now everybody's looking for that girl, and everybody's trying to see what was the video or the picture that came out of it, and just to see if it was worth it at this point. Because
Hey,
at this point,
I'm pretty
everybody was
sure.
like, "Did you
I'm
really have
pretty
to
sure
bring the
that
firework
reel was
in?
lit.
You could."
Real lit.
Look at Carlos.
Estúpido.
Hey, you're the king of puns, so I don't want to hear that shit. That was actually a good one.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one. Yeah, so everybody's trying to figure out, when does this girl gonna post that particular picture
She's probably not.
and
Yeah,
that
she hasn't
video,
been
and just to
found.
see.
I don't
Yeah,
think
she
I
hasn't
don't
been
think she's
found.
gonna
That's the
she's not
Disney
gonna be
girl.
she's not
Yeah.
gonna be the person who posted out, because then you'll know
Hashtag
automatically right off
estúpida.
the bat who
Yeah,
it is,
so
and then she's gonna get whacked.
so we're thinking that
doing that.
probably security is gonna get upped at that point in that scenario, and a lot of influencers and just a lot of adults that attend Disney are kind of freaking out, and they're like, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen?"
Yeah,
that
I
kind of
mean,
deal.
just
But
don't do stupid shit like that. Like, I just
Yeah,
don't
Is it that
just
hard
understand.
to just go and have a good time and leave? Like, that's it. Just go and have a
It
good
was
time.
a one.
and leave.
Well, it was the 100th anniversary, right? Like, it was the
Yeah.
it was
It was the one
celebrations.
that-
For that. They
and
just
of
thought
all places to
one-time
do it,
thing.
right in front of the castle, right in
right
front
in front of the castle.
everybody,
Yeah,
and it's like, geez, girl.
but I mean,
Another
that's the
thing-
best spot. That's the best spot.
Hmm?
If you're gonna do it, that's the spot.
Thank God she didn't bring any eggs.
I was gonna say another thing that I hate that they do, and people are gonna hate me for this, is proposals at Disneyland. I think they're so tacky.
I agree. I
I
agree with
agree with
you.
you.
I'm probably
And I'm
gonna
a
get.
hopeless romantic, but no.
No,
Mm.
I'm not
It's a
12.
no
I don't
for
want
me.
that 12-year-old little in front of the Cinderella castle.
I don't want all those people in the shot with the castle and the. I don't know.
Yeah, I want you to throw
You gotta
yourself
do it
off
at
the-
you gotta
the
do it at Disney
plane.
World if you're gonna do
And be
that.
like, "You
right,
can't
right
do
when
that."
they're
Babbler's
opening.
looking at me like, damn, I was gonna propose by the castle.
I don't know anybody else I'm gonna propose to, and it won't be by a castle at Disneyland because I've only been there once. So, but Raquel mentioned eggs, so why don't we talk about eggs? Paula, what you got?
I was going to say, I'm like, good thing that cake was cardboard, because with the price of eggs,
Versus-
I wonder if that girl went
Okay.
That is
Oh,
a good
listen.
segue.
I'm sure Shakira's got a whole bunch of eggs next to that jam, though.
Damn.
Yeah, you gotta mark them. Now that's what people are doing. They're like labeling their eggs to see if any are going missing. Listen, the
Man.
price of eggs is unprecedented, and we are seeing something that is so bizarre, and it might seem so comical, but we are even seeing egg smuggling on the rise. I kid you not. People are going into Mexico and smuggling eggs.
Or the roosters.
The
No,
huevos, the eggs.
The huevos.
Okay. Yes.
Now I
It
don't
is-
think having roosters are a bad idea. Well, chickens, it's chicken coop.
Paula, why do we have a shortage in eggs? Like, what's the
So
reason?
I
Yeah,
mean,
what is it?
so this all started when the pandemic started. So we started seeing, freezes in Texas, which affected grain. All of this is circular. And a long time ago in a podcast, I had talked about it where, people were saying, people were being alarmist and it's fine, it'll be fine, but it's not, because we're going to see the effects of everything that happened in 2020 we're going to start seeing all of that come to fruition, because places like California is seeing flooding where, that's affecting our growers and our farmers. We had the freezes in Texas that affected crops in Texas, and then that affects that yield, not just for that year but for the following year, and what they do with how they're plowing the land. I mean, it's all been a cyclical effect, and so now we're seeing the effects of that. Now, on top of that, we also had a huge fire in one of the nation's biggest egg producers, Hillendale Farms, out of Basra, Connecticut. We had there was a huge fire, and an estimated 100,000 hens died.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
So sad.
Yes. And so now they're telling us, don't worry, it'll be fine. You're not going to see the price of eggs rise anymore. But, this is what they've been telling us all along. We've seen, meat counters empty. We've seen what's happened to gas. We've seen what's happened to, now we're having to be careful with chicken, because we're looking at, certain diseases, because they're trying to overproduce so much. You're starting to see avian flu and all of those things come up again.
That was the major, that was the original. Yeah.
We're having to watch lettuce once again. So all of these things, because we're trying to mass produce, we're trying to chemically engineer a lot of crops and animals and a lot of different things. And so because we are just over consuming, and again, we're trying to make up for all of that loss that happened in early 2020. So this is not going to end anytime soon, unfortunately. And again, especially because of all of these extreme weather conditions that we're having from coast to coast, whether you see them in California and what's happening with our farmers right now, still working in torrential downpours, when California is a place that, you usually see droughts, and you have these people out here trying to still, tend to the crops to feed the rest of America. So it's not going to end, unfortunately. So I think we just have to be mindful. And when you think about making fun of those people,
egg rationing.
Well, no, in Los Angeles, when you hear the hen, that cuckoo, like when my neighbors have,
chicken. It's not a bad idea anymore, right? Now we're gonna have chicken coop.
That's how you're good. It's like, oh man, are we gonna be short on eggs? You wake up to the 5 morning.
For those that have eggs for breakfast, they need to cut it out.
Man, at 5 a.m. I'm waking up to cats fighting.
That's
Lo gato.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yo, we put up a reel on this because we thought it was kind of a funny. It did really well. I'm gonna play it for the people who actually missed it on Instagram. But this is how bad eggs are missing.
Oh, Mr. Fernandez, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I got the phone call. My wife is really excited. We can't wait.
You're not gonna believe the rate that I got you for 36 months payment. 5%. All you gotta do is sign the paperwork. Are you ready?
All right.
Congratulations, you're the proud owner of 2 dozen eggs.
By the way, it was the only bank that approved me. I tried quite a few.
Wow.
Wells Fargo.
Eggland's best.
Eggland's best.
Bad credit score.
What's the return?
Scrambles
What's
and
the
loans.
return on that investment?
Whatever that return is, it's going to be excellent.
Excellent.
Hey.
Yeah, right. All the puns. I was ecstatic to receive.
Yeah,
such an
Babbler
amazing.
got plenty of yolks.
Everyone is gonna be going to the bank now.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yo, the fact that we can continue this probably for like another 30 minutes is crazy.
Exactly.
Exactly. I have a topic I want to talk about. So I was going through the internet. This is to see where we are at a society standpoint. So this is the story. 39-year-old Japanese man was arrested in Osaka, Japan for dating 35 women at once just to get more birthday gifts. His name is Takashi Miyagawa, and he was arrested for defrauding women. He manipulated them into believing they were each in a serious monogamous relationship with him. And then Miyagawa has reportedly met the single women while selling them hydrogen shower heads and other products.
They didn't give him eggs
for an unnamed company, and began each relationship under the assumption that marriage was in the cards. He apparently got 100,000. It's in that's Japanese, which converts to like 929 worth of presents, clothes, and cash.
Is that him in the picture?
That was him in the
that's
picture.
him.
That was I was putting that up there for a reason.
He has more games than Mark Anthony.
I don't want you guys to turn around and go after this. Like if you see him, don't fall for the trick. I have an important question. I'm gonna get hammered for this, but is he somebody who's a fraudster or just a genius?
He's a genius.
He's
a little bit of both.
Yeah, he's a little bit of both in that case. I mean, if he's able to pull that off, that takes a lot of strategy.
That's a lot of time. That's anxiety.
I'm wondering how his scheduling was. Like, he probably had a notepad.
What app was he on? What dating app was he on?
I don't know,
1 to
bro.
215, 3 to 315.
You're talking about notepads. This guy had a lot of gifts. He probably had like 3 iPhones.
He didn't do your math, Carlos. The half of the age minus 7 years. He didn't do all that though.
Lo hizo. I'm just in US. You don't get arrested for that unless you're like moving stuff out of people's accounts. This is what we consider. How did he end up in jail though?
That's not even $1,000.
China does not play. You said this was happening in China.
This happened in Japan. I think it was
Japan.
Osaka, Japan.
Listen, they don't play when you're intentionally defrauding people. I mean, and maybe they have rules on the amount of either a monetary gift when your intention is to defraud. Because if your promise is at the end of the road, I'm promising you marriage, and you know from the get-go that there's no way you're going to uphold that, but I'm giving you this monetary gift in exchange for a possibility of an ending with you, and you're intentionally defrauding me.
Okay, but isn't that pretty much every relationship in the United States?
That was my ex-husband. I mean, they married me, so that was my ex-husband.
You know, what if he was targeting the elderly?
But what is it between? I mean, it's his say against her. Like, I don't know.
I wonder how he got caught.
Yeah, how did he get caught? Like,
I mean, what ended up happening is quite a few of the women ended up reporting him to the police as far as like, we're going to like, this man is literally taking money or taking gifts. And I think what happened is he had so many women report that the police ran an investigation and realized that it turned out to be a scheme. Like, he was doing this on purpose. The reason I'm laughing is because it's not like he did this for like professional purposes. This man literally did it to get more birthday gifts, which means he started the process like probably a year ago to get to that day.
It was only $924 times 35.
Let me give you an even crazier one really quick. So I think this happened. Did it happen possibly in China? I can't remember, but it was a group of women that got together and they rented like luxury, like a Lamborghini or Bugatti or something like that. And then they rented a Birkin. And then they all put in to go into this expensive restaurant. And so what they would do is they were basically time sharing these items. So they could take pictures, post them on Instagram to try and snag a rich man. And then they actually got caught as well. And I think, I don't know if the men are suing them or if there are legal charges pending against them. But they're like, we didn't do anything wrong. We basically pulled all of our money to rent a Birkin, to rent a super expensive cars, do photo shoots in this very luxurious like Hermes hotel. And they would go upstairs. Okay, you have 10 minutes, take your pictures, come down. The next one, subia. And they were all posting their pictures. Isn't that wild?
I mean,
and
first of all, I don't understand how these people can go through that process. Like, that is.
I mean, it's ingenious.
It's kind of
Ocean's
like
11 type shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. Even when we were just talking about the Disneyland, it's like how far would you go for you to be able to paint that image of yourself for your own advantage at that point?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. I mean, here's the thing, though. The reason I find it shocked that he was turning around and do is because we have a Grammy Award winning artist who did this to men. for,
Who's
for
that?
drugging them.
What?
Who's the Grammy award-winning artist?
Brother,
Come again?
why did you invite me to the show?
Oh, you?
No.
The views
He's like, I'm
I was
never
talking
coming
about-
back.
by
I'm
Latin
talking about
Babbler
Cardi B.
does not reflect on me. Jeez.
What?
What's up with this
I'm so
guy?
yeah, I went over my head.
Hey, there was a time where Cardi B was tipping
a
off
stripper.
drinks
She was a stripper.
to turn around and steal people's money, man. She's
Actually,
still
that
out
is
there
true.
doing music.
Oh, I
She's
didn't
out
hear
there
that.
doing music.
I didn't know
She
Yeah.
was a stripper. That's it.
No, she was drugging men and taking their
She
money.
was? Like,
And
Yeah.
she
oh, like
admitted
that's
to
like
it.
oh, in the other movie that
movie.
knows it. In
J-Lo.
the other movie,
Yeah,
J-Lo.
the movie with J-Lo.
What is it?
But that's-
Hustlers.
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 But she's-
That's
I
exactly
think
what
you're
she
getting
did.
your stories.
No. I'm
complete,
not
like-
getting my story. Look it
And
up.
Cardi
I think
B
you guys.
is in that movie too.
Yep. I
She
think
is.
you guys.
I think,
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
I mean, it's based on a true story.
I'm a Cardi B fan, so
Yeah.
I didn't know about
You,
that.
you
Did
gotta,
know about
you
that,
gotta
Mace?
look it up. You gotta look it up.
I
You
mean,
know
she's
about
always
that,
been
Daisy?
very open about her days in, like, you know, as
Oh,
a
yeah, it's
dancer.
true. I see it. I
She's
see
always
an
been
article
very
here.
transparent about it.
I never knew. Yeah, I've been
So-
following her
it
since
says-
her teeth were all jacked up. and
there's
she was
the
stripping.
first thing you look at is like, for instance, if you look up her name, the first thing you'll see is like, in my
She
case,
said all
I'm
these
in-
men
I'm in
deserved
LA.
it.
Yep.
Just kidding.
including PK with my jam jelly, my jam.
She goes, yeah. Let's go back to this hotel. I drugged the men up. I robbed them. That's what I used to
Okay,
do.
I think it's time to go. It's time to. Good night, guys. I don't associate myself. No,
Do you have to say the views of Latin Babbler does
the
not
views of
reflect
Latin
on-
Babbler does not reflect upon
Everybody's trying to-
Rocky's views.
Everybody, hey, look, you guys can get upset all you want. All
No,
I'm
you're
doing is
stating
spitting
it.
facts.
You're
All I'm
stating
doing
it.
was spitting facts. All right. If you have a problem with that, that means you have a problem with the LA Times, CNN, and everybody else who recorded this, and even her who said it. I'm just saying, if Mr. Miyagawa
Who?
is going to jail,
Oh, yeah,
that's the
that
name of the
guy.
Japanese guy.
Who?
If Mr. Miyagawa is going to jail for $929.44, that's the amount.
You know how
I
much eggs
think
I can buy
we
with
have
that?
our priorities messed up.
Do you know how much
I do
eggs
feel bad
can
for
buy
all
with
these
that?
women. There's probably I do feel bad for, obviously, honestly, all jokes aside, I do feel bad for all these women who were really screwed over by this
Do
guy.
you guys remember that one guy that was oh my god, how can we forget this? He had a whole Netflix series that he was
Dirty
scamming
John.
women.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty
What was
John.
his
Dirty John.
I think it was
Dirty
Dirty
John.
John.
No,
In
the
Europe?
guy from the one
No.
from Europe and
Not that
Israel.
one?
That
The
he
one
was
from
telling
Israel.
women like, "Can you please send me money?" Because
And he was a
had real
millionaire,
relationships.
supuestamente.
Yeah. And they would send him so much money, and he
Mm-hmm.
was dating multiple women, and they ended up filing for bankruptcy or something like that,
Yeah. And
losing
that-
their house.
Vaguely
houses
familiar.
and
It rings
debt.
a bell.
Oh my god,
Oh,
how do we?
yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it
I
is
know
in
what you're
Dirty
talking
John.
about, Daisy. There's
Yeah,
a Netflix
I know what you're
series.
talking
It's a
It's
documentary.
Netflix- yeah, there's a documentary. He was caught like I don't know 8-9 months
And
ago.
now people think he's like attractive. They're like, whoa, because he goes on TikTok.
I mean, don't they always?
Oh, listen, we
I
made
mean, they
him
put
famous.
Jeffrey Dahmer in a series, and the women
We
started
made him
going
famous.
nuts over
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. Like,
Oh my
weird
God.
Topic for another day. It could be a
Yeah.
whole.
All
don't even
right.
get
It's
me
crazy.
started. Yeah.
Which
All
she
right,
ended
well,
up
look,
winning a
that's-
Golden Globe for, by the way.
She did.
Who got a Golden Globe?
Evan Peters, who
He
ended
He
up
deserves
Peters.
that
winning-
though.
Oh yeah, he deserves it. He did a good
he's-
job.
he's
That's
an
the guy
amazing
It was
from
good
actor.
acting. I'm not a
American
fan of
Horror
the fact that they're
Story.
using.
I'll
I'm not a
debate
fan
you
of
on
the
that
fact that they're
one.
using all that one.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Oh,
next
well,
time,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we'll talk next. That's
Yeah.
time for another time. Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. And in case you missed this live, you can actually go watch it on YouTube, Facebook, and on any of your favorite podcast listening apps. Just make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Todo Wafi, and visit our website, www.todowafi.com, for latest articles and information. I am Rafael. That is Daisy. That is Paula. That is Carlos, the nostalgic Latino. And that is Miss Rocky. And we are out.
Desde Nicaragua hasta Costa Rica, con esta canción todo el mundo se identifica. Llamen a los chilenos y a los cubanos, llamen a Puerto Rico y a los mexicanos, que ya se armó la rumba. Desde Panamá hasta Ecuador, vámonos a Perú y luego hasta Salvador. Que se escuche en Brasil y Argentina.
Yo quiero un grito de mi gente latina y levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras.